Welcome to the Will Cramer Show, your go-to podcast for local football and basketball, including the Indiana Northern State Conference, Northern Indiana Conference, and the Northern Lakes Conference plus teams in St. Joseph, Elkhart counties. We are back on the show after a 2-week break. I am refreshed, renewed, recharged, ready to go. I'm excited to talk more local sports with you guys. And we have a great show on the slate for today. We'll start with topic number one. NorthWood's Max Parciak commits to Ball State University to continue his football career, also known as Big Baby Max. Junior All-State selection last year as an offensive lineman. He was obviously a member of the 4A state runner-up team. Max, welcome to the Will Cramer Show.
Yes, sir. Well, good to be here.
Well, it's great to have you, and thank you for taking time out of your day to hop on the show. Before we talk about Ball State, I want to focus on your journey up to this point. You know, people don't get Division I scholarships without some sort of process. So can you talk about your journey and how you're able to put yourself in a position, including maybe some of the highs and lows?
Yeah, so it pretty much all started in elementary school at like the kids camps for the high school, and just looking up all to the big guys on the high school team, and then once I got to high school, I realized that I really want to play in college, and I was just grinding all off season during high school. One of the downfalls of the process, I guess, would be I broke my foot going into my junior year right at the beginning of the summer, and I missed the first two games. And I think it was Jimtown and Portage I missed, and that really was a down point because I thought my first injury, I thought it was all over with, thought I was done for.
I have to ask you, how has Northwood football prepared you for the next level?
I got good coaches to help me through the process, and we play really good competition in the NLC. Playing big games like, for example, the Mishawaka game this year. That was a great game. They definitely build your character when it comes to getting prepared for this type of stuff. So, Coach Andrews and the whole coaching staff has definitely prepared me very well.
Why Ball State?
It really felt like home. I when I first met Coach Johnson back in December of 2023, uh, I just we just kind of clicked, I guess, in a way, and kind of built that relationship up to this point. And then when I got to the Ball State football camp a couple weekends ago, I balled out and said he would give me a call during that week, and soon enough, he gave me a call, and I got the offer.
That's awesome. Look ahead to your senior year. What are you looking forward to and why?
I'm definitely looking forward to the growth of the whole team. Coming off a big season, everybody thinks we're going to be not so good of a team since we don't got all this star talent. When we really got some dogs on the team, um, we're going to ball out this year. I think we're looking forward to building a new identity for Northwood and prepared for a big season ahead.
So let's look at the schedule really quick before I wrap up with another question here. You start off at Jimtown, of course, that rivalry there with the Jimmies,
Yes,
and
sir.
then 2 home games: Portage, a 6A school, Wawasee, NLC slate begins,
Hmm.
and then in September, in the middle of September, you got 2 road games, 2 crucial road games at Mishawaka, at Northridge,
Hmm.
and then you come back home against Concord, at Plymouth to begin October, and then the last 2 at home versus Warsaw and Goshen. As you
Hmm.
mentioned earlier, the NLC is a gauntlet, really a tough conference. So as you look at the schedule there, what are your thoughts?
It's going to be probably a little tough at the beginning, and we'll figure things out in the middle and go from there.
Yeah, let me ask you another question on your schedule here. This might be tough for you because there's a
Hmm.
lot of games to get out for. But which maybe one or two games are you personally looking forward to the most?
Oh, that's got to be Northridge. It's my number one.
Okay. I
Um,
had a hunch it was Northridge.
yeah.
Is there another team that you're really excited to play?
Probably Jimtown will be number two because Coach Vincent went over there as the head coach, and I know he's looking for that big first win as a head coach. And yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So,
definitely shout out Coach Vincent for my recruiting process. He helped a lot on the way.
okay. Pretty cool there. Well, last question as we wrap up. Any advice to younger football players who dream of playing college football? Obviously, you committed to a D1 school. You've not only taught the talk, but you're walking the walk. Um, what kind of advice would you give to younger football players?
I would say chase your dreams. Definitely don't give up on them. You know, there's always a level of football for somebody, and I say trust your coaches because your coaches know what's best for you. And be patient with this recruiting process because you never know what you can get at the very last second. So I definitely say trust your coaches, trust the process.
Well said. Well, Matt, thanks for hopping on the Will Cramer show. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Definitely,
I know I follow you on all my socials, and I'm excited to see what you do the rest of the summer and into your season.
definitely. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Time to move on to topic number 2, the way too early girls basketball top 10. Now, back in March, I did the way too early basketball top 10. It's been 3 months now since those original rankings. And a lot has happened since then: transfers, roster turnover, injuries, playing actual games in June. And with June ball wrapped up, it's now time to reveal the second edition of the way too early top 10. Now, this is going to take way too long, so I had to separate the girls and the boys. So this episode will just do the girls top 10, and then episode 95 we'll do the boys. So let's start with the girls. And before we get into the top 10, there are two teams that I want to mention in the honorable mention. These two teams, you can argue, could be in the top 10, but just were barely left off. There are several factors that go into these rankings. I followed all of these teams as closely as I could the past season. I've done the research and have asked people I trust their opinions. All of that has helped form and this list and determine this list. I understand that no list or ranking is ever going to make everyone happy, and there will be some people that think I'm a complete idiot and I never watch or study or that I don't know anything about what I'm talking about. That's fine, and there's going to be that crowd. I've been doing these lists for a few years now, and you're just not going to make everyone happy, and I get that. I don't do these rankings for myself. I do it for the fans, for the love of the game, for local communities, and to reward programs for their hard work, determination, success. At the end of the day, it's about promoting the good things that people do, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm all about. So let's do the honorable mention. Two programs that could find their way into the top 10 next season, but as of now, they're just on the outside looking in. This team was ranked number 14 back in March, but they now move up to number 12. That's the Concord Minutemen, who were 10-13 last year, 2-5 in the NLC. They lost Dominique Stilley, all NLC. She is attending Bethel University to continue her basketball career. Concord also lost Cambria Zilm, now attending Glen Oaks Community College to play basketball. Concord does return junior Shelby Emmerich, arguably their best and most experienced player. Two other names to keep a tab on are junior Zaza Zilm and sophomore Shiloh Smith. Both played JV last season and both will be major contributors to the varsity this year. They are under the radar players, but you will get to know them very soon. Zaza is one of their best shooters and will consistently lead Concord in scoring. Shiloh is a great defender and can give you 10 to 12 points a game, mostly in hustle plays. Although Concord might not be at the top of NLC, they will definitely be one of the better middle tier teams who has the potential to pull off an upset or two. Concord hasn't had a winning NLC record since 2020 and has not won a sectional title since 1992. Coach Abel, in just his second year at Concord, has the Minutemen heading in the right direction, though. The other honorable mention team is at number 11, which is the same number they were in March, Plymouth Pilgrims, who went 10-13 and 3-4 in conference play last year. Key loss is Riley Mann. They do return senior Linda Jones, all NLC conference player, and senior Sophie Miller, all NLC honorable mention. Linda and Sophie will be key contributors to this season, and if Plymouth is going to take their next step, these two will need to consistently perform at a high level. They need to improve their perimeter shooting as a team. If they can consistently knock down 3-point shots, then I think the team can surprise some people. Plymouth returns over 80% of their scoring from last year, so expectations have risen, which is a good thing for the Pilgrims, who have not won a sectional since 2022. Now it's time to reveal my top 10. I will start with number 10 and work my way to number 1. At number 10 is the Tippecanoe Valley Vikings. Last season they went 19-4. Of course, they did not play in the conference. This year, they will be playing in the newly formed Indiana Northern State Conference, along with Jimtown, Bremen, LaVille, John Glenn, and Knox. Key losses for the Vikings include Ava Egoff and 5'8" forward Macy Peterson, who is going to be playing next year at North Central University. Key returners from Tippecanoe Valley include senior 6'1" Carly Snyder. Currently holds offers from NAIA schools like Spring Arbor and Olivet Nazarene. They also returned juniors Gabby Gonzalez and forward Lucy Hayden, both shooting the low 30s for threes. If they can bump that up to mid-30s, that would open things up inside more. Valley was number 8 in my March top 10 edition, but they did lose their head coach. Albeit, they did hire a good replacement in Rebecca Parker, a Tippecanoe Valley alum, Indiana All-Star, and former Evansville player and professional in Europe. She has coaching pedigree, both on the college and high school level. However, there's still going to be a turnover period where change could impact the product. New terminology, new processes in place, new plays, new offense, new defense, a lot of new tweaks and changes. And this will be a good team in March. I just think early on you could see a period of growth and challenge of trying to put everything together. Chemistry does take time. Program change at the top can impact various programs in different ways. Valley, historically a good program. They do have talent returning, which is why I think the Vikings will be just fine long term. They do play in Sectional 20 with Columbia City, Northwood, Fairfield, and Wawasee, so that'll be a lot of fun to watch that unfold. At number 9 is the Wawasee Warriors. Last year, the Warriors went 14-10, 4-3 in the NLC. Key returners include seniors Mackenzie Hackelman, all NLC, Olivia Horn, all NLC, Ava Kuchar, and 5'2" point guard Lucy Wilkinson, who has an offer from Division III Earlham College. They return over 70% of their scoring. Although they didn't shoot the ball overly well as a team last year, they made up for it with solid defense, averaging nearly 13 steals a game, which translated into points off turnovers. To take that next step, their overall team shooting needs to improve. Wawasee hasn't had back-to-back winning seasons since 2010-2011 years. Wawasee is in a tough sectional. Coach Gilreath has the opportunity to have back-to-back winning years and build off of last year's 14 wins. Talent and skill has improved, which is why you're seeing Wawasee at number 9. They should finish near the top of the middle tier of the NLC. That'd be a tough out in their sectional. At number 8 is the Bremen Lions. Last year they went 16-12 overall with a 5-6 NIC record. Michaela Shively is their lone loss. Key returners include senior 5'6" combo guard Keela Foster, IBCA top 100 member NIC first team selection. Juniors, Elena Grubbs, NIC honorable mention, and Emma Kincaid. They do bring back 87% of their scoring that won a regional title last year. Coach Robinson has only one losing season in 8 years at Bremen. He's won a sectional title in 2020, a regional title in 2024. Bremen will likely be contending with Tippecanoe Valley for the conference title and will likely be heavy favorites in sectional 34 for Class 2A. At number 7, the Fairfield Falcons. Last year they went 22-4. They won the NECC with a 12-1 record. Key losses include Kaylee Dillon, all NECC. She committed to Glen Oaks Community College to play basketball. Joining her at Glen Oaks is also 5'5" combo guard Natalie Whitaker. Now, key returners include junior 5'10" shooting guard Eva Herbert, all NECC. Sophomore 5'11" Madison Jones, all NECC honorable mention. They also added Westview transfer sophomore 5'11" shooting guard, shooting forward, or Michaela Mast. This is a program that has been on fire in the past 4 or 5 years, winning state title in 2023, the regionals in 2022, and a sectional in 2021. And last year's team probably feels like they could have won a regional. Fairfield does have size. The Falcons will be tested in November with games against Elkhart, John Glenn, Wawasee, Goshen, Northridge, and Concord. Now, if they can get through that stretch with just 2 losses, then I think they can run off a string of wins. Northwood will be tough. Coach Hartman has talent and skill. The question remains, how will they do in the tough sectional 20? At number 6, Northwood Panthers. They went 20-7 overall last year, 4-3 in NLC. They were regional champions. Key losses include Jocelyn Edwards and Callie Johnson. Key returner, senior 6'1" center Claire Payne. All NLC, averaged a double-double. Committed to play volleyball at Appalachian State University. Also, key returner is 5'8" small forward Haley Heflin. 5'3" point guard Megan Yoder, and a pair of sophomores, and 5'11" forward Addie Davis, and 5'4" shooting guard Kenzie Hartman. Claire will be the obvious centerpiece of the program. Teams will pack it in on Payne, so perimeter shooting will be important. The NLC and sectional 20 are loaded once again, and Northwood is trying to win their 3rd regional title in the past 6 years. Now at number 5, I kept going back and forth. 4 and 5 are very close, so I'm going to put the 2 teams as a tie for the 4th spot. The Penn Kingsmen, 18-7 overall, 9-2 last year in the NIC. Key losses include Lauren Walsh, NIC second team member, large school all-state member, selected to the Indiana All-Star team, and had an offer from Eastern Michigan, but decided to do a prep year at Lauderdale. Penn also lost Carlisha Eccles, NIC honorable mentions, committed to play at Marian University and Sola College, continue her basketball career. Key returner, senior 5'6" combo guard Jessa Troy, NIC first team selection, underclass all-state honorable mention, shot 41% from threes last year. Will probably be the leading scorer for the Kingsmen this year, as well as a leader on the team and a facilitator. Sophomore 5'10" forward Anna McCullough, the NIC honorable mention last year. She's a very physical, strong rebounder, defender, interior scorer. Doesn't really shoot threes. Runs the floor well. Junior 6'1" forward Anna Satshire, skilled at all 3 levels, is having a good AAU season. She's going to be a matchup problem. Very long and active. Senior 5'8" shooting guard Ava Stebbins, a capable 3-point shooter, and junior 5'4" shooting guard Macy Little. Macy can create space and use space, pass her teammates open, and is an improved on-ball defender. Sophomore 5'7" shooting guard Olivia Dawson and senior 5'7" guard Lizzie Green had solid JV seasons and will be looking to make an impact on the varsity this year. Now, there are 2 incoming freshmen to watch, and they are 6' forward Addison Hummel and 5'11" forward Lexi Werner. Addison is a beast inside, rebounder, can make shots, handle the ball. Their size, along with McCullough, Sackire, makes Penn one of the tallest teams in our area. Now, Penn did go 18-3 this June. They have about 60% of their scoring coming back, so it'll be interesting to see how the new pieces gel together, especially early on. The biggest question mark for Penn is, can they dethrone the Washington Panthers in the NIC, and can they beat the Panthers in Sectional 3? At number 4 is Elkhart Lions. They went 13-10 last year, 9-2 in the NIC. Key losses: Samaya Stout, committed to play at University of St. Francis in Fort Wayne. Jaya Johnson, who shot 40% from 3. Now, key returner, senior forward Shania Hughes, NIC second team. She is an athlete, setting the school record in the long jump this year in track and field. Also shot 61% from the field. Junior forward 5'8" Shania Stout. She was an NIC honorable mention selection. She's looking to build off her 35% three-point shooting from last season. Junior center Krista Porter and senior point guard Danica Barnes are players to watch. Incoming transfer from NorthWood, Anaya Bonner sat out last year, but will be eligible for her junior campaign and is a scoring point guard. She was Northwood's leading scorer her freshman year. And they also have 4 JV players that came from a JV team, only lost 3 games last year. All 4 of those JV players will move up to the varsity level and have a role. Elkhart was without Barnes and Hughes during their June season, but still beat Snyder and Columbia City. Elkhart returns roughly 80% of their scoring. Defensive pressure, converting turnovers into points is their bread and butter. How well can they do against teams that can handle pressure? I think that's a question to ask. And will Elkhart be able to trade blows with the elite teams in our area? You have to admire what Coach Hunt has been able to do in quick order. They beat Penn head-to-head last year. They didn't perform as well as Penn did against shared opponents. You could argue that it took about 2/3 of the year for Elkhart to really click under Coach Hunt. But once they did click, the Lions routed off 5 straight wins, including that impressive road win at Penn. They demolished 3A semi-state finalist Bremen and gave Northridge everything that Raiders could handle in the sectionals. Speaking of Northridge, Elkhart will host Northridge on November 26th this year. So circle that date on your calendar because that will be an incredible game. Perhaps a forecast of Sectional 4. Elkhart in the same boat as Penn, though. Can they beat Washington in the NIC? Time will tell, but this Elkhart team is trending in a good direction and will make some noise, not only in the NIC this next year, but potentially in their Sectional 4. Similar to Penn and Elkhart, I think the margin is very close between Northridge and Warsaw, so I'm going to put them both at number 2. Let's start with Northridge. 24-4, 6-1 last year. They were sectional title winners. Key losses include Morgan Cross, NLC All-Conference, Large School All-State. She's committed to continue her basketball career at Midway University, which is an NAIA school in Kentucky. Gabby Gates, NLC All-Conference, committed to continue her basketball career at Huntington University. And Sabrina Miller, NLC All-Conference, honorable mention selection, committed to play at Franklin College. Key returner, sophomore, 5'5" point guard, Rylan Goodwin, underclass All-State honorable mention last year. She was also NLC All-Conference. She's got offers from Spring Arbor. She shot 39% from 3, and also senior 5'6" combo guard Ella Mohammed, NLC All-Conference, offered by Manchester University. She's long been known as a three-point shooter, shooting 43% last year, but she's developing her point guard skills and also being a better defensive player. Junior 5'11" shooting guard, shooting forward Cameron Connolly, shot 34% from 3 last year, but can also attack the paint off the bounce. She's added strength, physicality, toughness to her game this summer. She's skilled, high IQ, high motor, and is having a great offseason. Sophomore, 5'10", shooting forward, power forward, Lily Scholl. She could be a double-double player next year. Newcomers from a JV team that went 21 includes Allison Ambers, 5'9", sophomore shooting guard, and Reagan Huss, a 5'11" sophomore shooting forward. Northridge has skill up and down the roster. They got a ton of size. We didn't even mention Zoe Yeater, a 5'11" sophomore, and Taylor Bow, a 5'11" senior. The NLC race will once again come down to Northridge and Warsaw. The Raiders have a tough schedule. There is one game in particular that sticks out the most, and that is on December 17th when the power of the NIC Washington Panthers come to the Madhouse. That, folks, will be a sellout, and you won't want to miss that game. Number 2, Warsaw Tigers. They went 14-8, 7-0 in NLC, winning the NLC title outright. Key returners include junior Brooke Zartman, NLC All-Conference, holds an offer from Central Michigan. Junior Jocelyn Breaker, NLC All-Conference, holds offers from Valpo and Purdue, Fort Wayne, Wright State, to name a few. And senior Brooke Winchester, NLC All-Conference, average a double-double, committed to Ball State. Junior Alexis Neely, NLC All-Conference, honorable mention. And junior 5'4" guard Kelsey Wren will get varsity action this year. Now, JV went 13-7 last year. Warsaw returns 98% of their scoring, including 5 players that shot 33% or better from three-point land. Warsaw has won the NLC title 21 straight years, which is incredible to think about. Much like Northridge, they have shooters and size inside. Warsaw split the season series last year with the Raiders, but lost to Northridge when it mattered the most in the sectionals. Question is, can the Warsaw beat Northridge to win LC again? And can Warsaw get past the Lady Raiders in sectional 4? Now, I don't think it's any surprise at who's number 1, and that is the South Bend Washington Panthers. They went 19-5 last year, 11-0 NIC sectional titles. Key returners, senior 6'3" Kira Reynolds, a Purdue commit. Indiana All-Star last year, All-State, averaged nearly a triple-double, 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 blocks per game. He's ranked 92nd prospect in the country in the class of 2025 and 4th overall in the state, according to the ESPN 2025 rankings. She shoots 63% from twos. She does need to improve her three-point shooting. Also, senior 5'7" point guard Raya Wilson. She was NIC first team. Raya is a ball hawk defender, locked down, forcing turnovers. That's her mojo. She can attack the paint on offense and create for others, but she needs to improve her shooting overall. Senior 5'11" shooting forward Monique Mitchell, NIC first team member, Indiana All-State. She currently holds offers from California State University, Bakersfield, Bowling Green, Western Michigan, Central Michigan, among other D1 schools. Among varsity players, she leads the team in three-point shooting and free throw percentage. She's a strong guard that can get downhill quickly and is strong enough to finish through contact. She's going to be a tough assignment for her opponents. Senior 5'8" power forward Michaela McNeil, NIC honorable mention last year, has steadily improved her stock. She was if she was on most other varsity teams, she would get more attention and oxygen, but I think she's ready to make her this season her best yet. Another player to watch is sophomore 5'8" guard Kyra Lowe, the former Warsaw transfer. I think it took her a bit to find her niche at Washington. She did struggle at times to shoot the ball consistently, but look for her to have a bigger role this year and a better season with the Panthers. Washington does return 100% of their scoring from last year. This is supposed to be their year, folks, with Kira, Monique, Raya, and Kyla all being seniors. Washington is expected to win the NIC and make a deep run in the state tournament. Anything less than that probably would be considered a disappointing season. I want to thank you for listening to the Will Cramer Show. If you are enjoying my podcast, I would love for you to rate and share my podcast. Leave a review. It'll help me out. You can follow the Will Cramer Show on X at Will Cramer Show, on Instagram at the Will Cramer Show, Tune in next time for more local high school football and basketball.